Hello, everyone. Welcome to NB Geeks. NB Geeks, let's talk. Let's see if I can't blow this up. There we go. All right, folks. Has woke culture actually gotten into pen and paper RPG? This is really important to me. Dungeons and Dragons, Wizards of the Coast removes problematic lore. Wizards of the Coast continues to excise potential problematic content from Dungeons and Dragons books to address issues of symptom racism. Racism. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, okay. Full disclosure, I only played D&D 3rd edition maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. My friends and I, we played Rifts, Heroes Unlimited, Aliens Unlimited, which were based on the company known as Palladium, which is a multi-sided die game system. You know, natural 20s and all that. Die 4, die 6, die 8, die 10, die 20. You name it. The other game we played 2 other ones. West End Games Star Wars, where I was the storyteller, game master, DM, god, game ordinance director. You know, you take your pick, what you want to call the name. That was a single die 6 game. We also played Vampire the Masquerade 3rd edition and Werewolf the Apocalypse. I'm not sure what edition we had, but that was a 10-sided die game system. So, I do know a lot about this subject. Yeah, how can you sit here and worry about, oh, we want to get things because they might offend a few people? First off, if you're coming into RPG and you're offended because you don't see anybody representing you in this, what the fuck? How can you not? RPG is the most diverse thing you could ever get into, especially pen and paper. You create your own damn character. You put your attributes together. You know, depending on what you put your discipline together, whether you whether you want to be aberrant or unscrupulous or diabolic or whatever. Wizards of the Coast is making a variety of changes to its D&D books with the intent to remove lore deemed problematic. These are not the first changes made by Wizards of the Coast to address racism. Several years have been many revisions previously published books, name of removing lore that enforces or has the potential to enforce negative racial stereotype. Stereotypes can be traced back to the roots of D&D with greedy dwarves, violent orcs, evil dark elves. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Well, Forgotten Realms of Dragonlance are fucked. I mean, seriously. What are you going to do with Tanis the half-elf? It's unreal. What about the Dark Elves from Forgotten Realms? What's his name? Shit. I know the guy. Salvatore does it. R.A. Salvatore. I know the order. I just can't think of. Drizzt. What are you going to do? You know what Drizzt's birth was? Drizzt's birth was, hey, guess what? He's the 3rd son. He's supposed to die. That's it. That was the whole point of his character. The only reason his character was even alive is because one of the other sons died before he was born. He was to be born to be killed. They are dark elves. This is crazy. The Dungeons & Dragons community itself is divided as to whether or not these changes being made are for the best. Really? Actually, I have a feeling most of the D&D community or the role-playing community like myself are saying, shut the fuck up. Leave our shit alone. Okay, we get it. You do a revision. You want to revise it for whatever D&D 6th, 7th, 8th edition. Guess what? We're still going to go back to 3rd ed. Like I said, I played Vampire the Masquerade. When Vampire the Requiem came out, I didn't like it. I didn't like the changes to the clans of vampires. I like my Toreador, I like my Zamisi, I like my Ventru, I like my Bruja, my Gingros, my Nosferatu, my Zamisi. I liked them the way they were. So when I got a hold of 5th edition, realized I made a mistake. I need to get 3rd edition. And that's fine. We're allowed to play these games in these different iterations. But seriously, coming out here and saying we're taking these away because they're racist, well, what's racist? Okay. Right of all the lore that it's being removed from. A beholder constantly feels for its safety. Moving giants, fire giants. Gnomes. Gnomes have little cobbles, mind flayers, orcs. I'm not going to go into all this. UNT, I'm not familiar too much with those. Is removing a lot of the lore that they find problematic, and IBE collected it and think it should be a sad loss. Especially all the U10 lore that I love seeing. This is from Reddit. And I would understand, why is D&D doing this? This really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Separation could reasonably exclude them from needing for sensitivity treatment, but their lore bestows these monsters with behaviors that have the potential to be seen as intersecting with misguided ideas that people have held in the real world. It's a fucking fantasy. You have dragons, you have orcs, you have fucking gremlins, goblins. What the fuck? Hey, Brett, stay. How you doing? Good to see you. Normally I do these recording wise, but I'm not in the mood. This is fantasy. The whole point is to escape from reality. The whole point of pen and paper RPG was to escape your reality. Somebody told the story and you guys got to play it out. You played it out in a very open world. You think your video games are open world? You have no clue what open world is until you've done pen and paper RPG and realize you can change anything. And your GM, DM, God, storyteller is going to have to learn how to adjust with you. It was an amazing way of communicating with people, and quite frankly, kept most of my friends and I out of jail. Because unlike other people, we were out doing stupid shit where they were stealing stuff, being out all night. We were in my friend's house, rolling the die, crossing our fingers for a natural 20. Next thing you know, light elves are gone because of white. Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I mean, this to me is insane. Dragonlance and Forgotten Realms are based off of the whole D&D concept. Like I said, what are you going to do with Drizzt? What are you going to do with Tanis the half-elf? Dragons of the Autumn Twilight is one of the best books I ever read in Dragonlance. There are stereotypes in all cultures. They just happen to be, in these cases, stereotypes of a culture because, think about it, it's a fantasy world. It's actually a small community. And what happens when you live in a small community? That's how your culture develops. I played a troll one time. My whole point of playing the troll was I wanted to I wanted to take him in a different direction, and I made him, and I sacrificed a few other things to make him as smart as the die would allow me to be. Because half the fun, one of the fun things is once you're into it, yes, you want to create that character that you love. But then as you play the games, you get used to them. You start thinking, you start really getting creative juices and thinking, hey, what if I do a character that's different? What if I do this and break the stereotype? What if I do this and say, hey, you know what? This character is going to be the ad liar. So what they're doing here, they're going to take that away from them because it's problematic. Who the fuck is saying it's problematic? I noticed this article doesn't tell me who's bitching. And they're going after Wizards of the Coast, D&D, because that is the most recognizable brand. And I almost am certain that it is a bunch of fucking SJW NPCs who have never played a day of D&D in their life. You could probably say the word natural 20 to them and they wouldn't have a fucking clue what that means. Oh, I got an 18. I got a +6, so I got that score. 18, yeah. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I got a 24. Roll the die. I got a natural 20. Oh, but I got 24 because of my bonus. Doesn't matter. What do you mean it doesn't matter? Natural 20 beats anything. Well, that's not fair. I mean, that's what these kind of people would be. It's not fair that a natural 20 beats somebody who could get, a 32, 33. Because a natural 20 beats everything. What about a 1? What about when we botch? Oh, you fired an arrow. Oh, well, guess what? You rolled a 1. You botched. Not only did your arrow not go anywhere, but you broke your bow. Well, that's not fair. You're right. Get the fuck out of our sandbox. Because I'm telling you right now, until most of us have drawn our last breath, we're going to fight you all on trying to change our sandbox. Our sandboxes were built on the backs of 2 generations of giants in my lifetime. And I am privileged to be in this sandbox and be allowed into this culture. So y'all coming in, wanting to change everything. Hey, D&D can do whatever the hell they want. But guess what? People will probably buy it, maybe. What do you want to bet their sales tank? People are going to continue with their 2nd or 3rd edition. In fact, I believe 3rd edition was the most popular for a long time. All right, folks, this was just short live. I never would have thought I'd see a pen and paper RPG bending the knee to the woke culture. Just never thought I'd see that. So they can bend, but I'm sure as fuck not going to.